my channel. For those of you who don't know, my name is Andrea. If you are new to my channel, listen up. Go ahead and be sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that notification bell so every time I post something, you won't miss it. So today, guys, okay, so those of you who don't know, I decided maybe like a couple weeks ago, I was going to start this series on my channel trying to help incoming freshmen transition from high school to college a lot easier. And today, as you can tell by the title, I am going to be talking about the top 5 college mistakes you should avoid. So honestly, guys, I just want to let y'all know I am calling these mistakes because now that I look back, now that I don't stay on campus, now that I am in nursing school, and I can actually sit back and look back on the things that I did my freshman year and what I didn't do my freshman year, I would consider majority of these things mistakes that I made. So that is why I would say these are the top 5. Of course, I made other mistakes, but I feel like these are the top 5 that are very, very essential. And again, if you try your hardest to avoid these things, I promise you, your transition from high school to college will be a lot easier. So going ahead and just jumping straight into the video, I am going to start with number 1. And I will say number 1 is something that I did, honestly, probably for my first semester of college. I honestly wish I wouldn't have did this, but again, it's life, you learn. But so my first one is going to be staying in your room all the time. This is something you definitely want to avoid off the jump. And I say this because when you're a freshman, there are so many events and opportunities that they put on specifically just for freshmen, because the school itself tries to help you transition from high school to college a lot easier. And really, guys, when you stay in your room, like majority of the time, and the only time you're out of your room is when you're in the classroom, you miss out on so many opportunities. And not only that, at that point, you're limiting your networking opportunities. And honestly, you know, when you network, there's so many doors that are open for you. And when I began to network, that's how I got my on-campus job. There were so many things, and I've said this in the video before, there are so many things and so many, you know, opportunities that arose to me when I started to be comfortable in going out and networking with people. And I know, especially, and I can say this was me from the jump, like if you're not used to going out and, you know, communicating with people you don't know, it is going to be a big adjustment. But honestly, that's what helped me grow as an individual. When I started to communicate with other people, when I started to communicate, like, okay, for example, me, when I was on main campus, I was a tour guide, and there was no, like, I had to step outside of my shell, because when I was in high school, I didn't really like to talk in front of large crowds. I didn't like to talk to nobody, just point blank period. I didn't like it. So when I got this job at my school, and I became a tour guide, I had no choice but to step outside of my comfort zone and give tours of the university. I had to be comfortable, and I had to make sure that I was I guess confident enough in selling my university like I was supposed to. And with that, even just doing tours alone opened up even more opportunities for me. And then the last thing, and I kind of want to touch on for that specific thing to avoid, is so the more you go out, well, this is my personal opinion, but I feel like it kind of makes sense, but the more you go out and you meet new people and you become more and more in love with the university, more in love with the people around you, you begin to become more comfortable. And so as you become more comfortable with your setting and your atmosphere and where you're at, the less you're going to think about things that are going on back home, or, you know, be homesick and things like that. So really, guys, just summing that all up, making sure you're not staying in your room 24/7. Go out, meet new people, network, and I promise you it's going to make that adjustment a lot easier. So the second thing you want to avoid in college is not going to the open houses and the career fairs. And I know, like, as a freshman, you would probably think, why am I going to go to a career fair? First of all, I need to get past my freshman year. But honestly, when you go to those career fairs, there are so many people who are just watching. They want to see who's going to be there. Make sure you have a good resume. Make sure you go up there, you know, dressed business professional, business casual. Just make sure you go up there looking presentable. And even if you don't go to these career fairs with the hopes of getting a job, there are summer internships. And when I tell you, these summer internships pay they pay good. And I know it's not for the money, but maybe that'll entice you guys to even go more to the career fairs. These summer internships, again, they provide more opportunity for you on top of being paid, you know, a good amount of money. And then for the open houses, you know, with these open houses, you are presented with basically almost every organization and every club that is at your university, you know, that they're all going to be at that open house. So you not going and you not getting your face seen kind of limits you to the opportunities that could be available to you. So again, just making sure you go to these career fairs, go to these open houses, and you will see what I mean once you get there. It's really, really a door opener for you. And again, making sure you have that resume and you come presentable. Okay, the third thing you want to avoid, and I literally made a whole video on this like maybe a couple months ago, but you do not want to buy your textbooks from the college bookstore. I cannot stress this enough, guys. So when it comes to the bookstore, them prices are going to be jacked up. They're going to tax. There's so like unnecessary prices for no reason. So my advice to you is going to Amazon, going to Check. Honestly, just going to anything that's not your bookstore unless it's required, because I will say there are some professors that they write their own textbooks or they write their own books and they only sell them in the bookstore. Now, if that's the case, okay, cool, that's understandable. You have no choice but to get it from the bookstore. But if you can avoid that bookstore at all costs, do that, because again, they tax and it's just unnecessary for no reason. So try Amazon, try Check, try renting the book from somebody, try borrowing the book, try, you know, asking upperclassmen if they have books. But again, just try to avoid the college bookstore at all costs. Okay, the fourth thing you want to avoid, and when I tell y'all I had this so bad, I had it bad, but you don't want to feel like you're scared to be alone, if that makes sense. And I'm not talking like, okay, let's say you go to a party or whatever, I'm talking about going to class. If you feel like you have someone has to be with you 24/7 to walk to class, someone has to be with you 24/7 to go eat. Absolutely not. Don't feel like you're fearful of being alone or being seen alone or being scared to go eat alone. And when I tell y'all I had that so bad, I remember my freshman year, I always had to be with somebody all the time. And honestly, now that I look back, I missed out on so much because either, you know, a friend didn't want to go or whoever I wanted to go with just wasn't interested in either going to an event, going to eat. There was just so much that I missed out on because I was so dependent on other people. And honestly, when you become fully independent and you feel like you don't have to be with somebody 24/7, at that point, you're just like, you know what, you don't want to go? Cool, I'm just going to go on my own. So that opportunity is going to be there for you. But again, just don't feel like you have to be with someone all the time. Don't feel like you can't go to this event that they're having in the auditorium because your friend doesn't want to go. And you honestly, like, now that I look back, I really, truly regret it because I was just so dependent on going places with other people that really limited me. And honestly, that I feel like it's not fair to me, but that's just the decision that I decided to make. So at all costs, please try to avoid that feeling of being fearful of being alone, going places alone. And then the last tip that I have that I feel like is super important that you want to avoid is giving up. You know, honestly, like I told y'all before, that transition from high school to college, it can take a minute. It can be a really big adjustment, but you know, you may feel overwhelmed. You may feel like, you know, college isn't for you. And I will say, for the record, again, college is not for everybody. And that is absolutely okay. But don't feel like right off the jump because it's not going how you want it to go, or, you know, it's not what you expected, that you have to give up. Because honestly, like I told y'all, college it's an experience, and it's an experience that I, you know, wish everybody could have. But at the same time, like I told y'all, college is not for everybody. But once you get there and you honestly sit down, look at the curriculum, look at how, you know, college works and the difference between college and high school, you know, obviously when you get to college, you have a lot more freedom. Just keep in mind that you should prioritize, you should time manage, and basically all those things that you use in high school to allow you to get to college, you need to continue to do those things once you get into college, whether your parents, you know, are supporting you or not. You have to become responsible. And you have to become independent, and don't feel like because, again, things are not going your way, you just have to give up or college is not for you. But guys, that really ends this video. Those are the top 5 things I feel like you should avoid in college. That was all from my personal experience and things, like I said, when I sit here and I look back on my freshman year, these are things that I did see myself doing or about to do, you know? So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to give it a thumbs up. If any of you guys have any requests on any videos you want me to do, be sure to leave it down below in the description box. Again, I try to, reply back to y'all as much as I can, as fast as I can. And then if you don't want to leave it down below in the description box, be sure to go ahead and send me an email. I check those almost daily. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, stay up, stay with it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.